A friend of mine drives a 2020 Honda CR-V. 3 weeks ago, he pulled the dipstick and the oil came out smelling like a gas station. Not contaminated, not low, soaking in raw gasoline. He topped it off, drove another month, pulled the stick again, and the level had gone up. By a full quart. That oil was now half fuel. And here is the part that should worry every Honda owner watching this. His mechanic told him this was normal. Normal for a 1.5-liter turbo, normal for a Civic, normal for a CR-V, normal for an Accord. Honda has known about this since 2017. There is a class action settlement on the books and a technical service bulletin filed with the dealers. Owners in cold weather states whose engines went through a full quart of oil every 1,000 miles. And what did Honda do about it? They pushed a software update. That is it. The hardware that causes the problem is still rolling off the line in 2026. Let me show you exactly what is happening inside that engine and why your dashboard is engineered to never warn you until the camshaft is already grinding itself into shavings. The engine in question is called the Earth Dreams 1.5-liter turbo. Honda put it in everything. The 2016 through 2022 Civic, the 2017 through 2023 CR-V, the 2018 through 2022 Accord. They have sold over 3 million of them in North America alone. And the failure mechanism is simpler than Honda wants you to believe. Direct injection works by spraying gasoline straight into the cylinder under extreme pressure. On a cold start, when the cylinder walls are still cool, that high-pressure spray hits a cold surface, and a fraction of the fuel does not burn. It washes down the cylinder wall, slips past the piston rings, and ends up in the oil pan below. Honda calls this cylinder wall washing. Every engineer at Honda knew this would happen. They built the engine anyway, because direct injection is what gets you the fuel economy numbers that pass the federal test cycle. In a perfect world, that small amount of fuel evaporates as the engine warms up and gets pulled back into the intake through the crankcase ventilation system. That is the theory. In practice, on the Earth Dreams 1.5, the engine warm-up is too slow, the oil pan sits too cold for too long, and the fuel never evaporates. It just keeps accumulating. Every short trip, every cold morning, every time you drive 5 miles to the grocery store and turn the engine off before it ever reaches full operating temperature. Honda's own technical service bulletin acknowledges this. They filed it with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The bulletin admits that the engine can experience, quote, abnormal oil dilution, end quote, in cold conditions. Their stated threshold is below -4 degrees Fahrenheit, but owners in Texas have reported the same symptoms at 40 degrees. Owners in Georgia have reported it driving 15-mile trips on mild winter days. The real threshold is whatever cold start your engine sees today, in any state, in any season. Now let me tell you what diluted oil actually does to an engine, because Honda's official position is that oil dilution is, quote, extremely rare and presents no safety concern, end quote. That language was chosen by lawyers, not engineers. Engine oil does 3 jobs. It carries heat away from the bearings. It maintains a film thickness between metal surfaces that are spinning thousands of times per minute. And it carries away combustion debris before that debris can grind the engine apart. Mix gasoline into it, and you destroy all 3 jobs at the same time. Independent oil analysis from Blackstone Laboratories on Honda 1.5 turbos shows fuel dilution levels between 5 and 15% at the manufacturer-recommended 7,500-mile oil change interval. 15% fuel dilution drops the oil viscosity by roughly half. That oil is no longer thick enough to maintain a film on the cam bearings. The cam bearings start metal-to-metal contact thousands of times per second. The cam wears. Microscopic chips of bearing material get pumped through the rest of the engine. Then it reaches the timing chain tensioner, which is hydraulically pressurized by the same oil. With diluted oil, tensioner pressure drops. The chain starts slapping. Honda has a separate service bulletin for premature timing chain failures on this engine. They issue the bulletin. They do not connect it back to the oil dilution problem in writing, because connecting them on paper would create a single common defect. By the time you smell the gasoline in the cabin, by the time the dashboard finally throws a check engine light, the camshaft is already gouged, the bearings are already wearing, and the timing chain is already stretched. The engine will run for another 20,000 miles before it seizes. It will not warn you. It is engineered to keep going right up to the moment it cannot anymore. If you have made it this far in the video, something tells me you are starting to see the pattern. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel before you keep watching. We expose this kind of corporate playbook every week, and you do not want to miss the next one. Now, this should get any Honda owner watching this even more furious. The engine in your American CR-V is the same engine, made on the same line, in the same factory, with the same parts as the engine in a Chinese CR-V. Honda manufactures the 1.5 turbo in Anna, Ohio, and ships it to both markets. Same engine, same defect, and two completely different responses to it. In February of 2018, Chinese consumers used the social platform Weibo to wage a coordinated public campaign against Dongfeng Honda after thousands of CR-V owners reported the gasoline and oil problem. Within 30 days, the Chinese State Administration for Market Regulation forced Dongfeng Honda to issue a recall on over 130,000 CR-Vs. Honda was required to replace the air conditioning controller, update the fuel injection electronic control unit, swap out the radiator, and replace the transmission control module. Actual hardware, real parts, paid for by Honda on every affected vehicle. They were also forced to issue a stop sale on new CR-Vs in China while they worked out a fix. In the United States, Honda did none of that. They issued a memo to dealers. They pushed a software update that altered ignition timing and air conditioning behavior to warm the engine up faster. They lengthened the dipstick so the high oil level would look less alarming when you checked it. They did not replace a single piece of hardware. They did not stop selling new CR-Vs for a single day. 2 years later, in 2020, a class action filed in federal court in Minnesota forced Honda to extend the powertrain warranty by 1 year, capped reimbursement claims at $250, and offered the same software update they had already been giving away for free. The settlement covered owners only in 21 specifically named cold weather states. If you bought your CR-V in Texas or Georgia or California, you got nothing. Same engine, same defect, same factory in Ohio, completely different treatment. A second class action was filed in 2022 and is still working through federal court today, covering 2018 through 2023 CR-Vs, 2019 through 2022 Civics, and 2018 through 2022 Accords. Honda has not redesigned the engine. The hardware in the trucks rolling off the Anna, Ohio line in 2026 is the same hardware that triggered a recall in China 8 years ago. In April of 2018, a man named Bill Houghton in Newark, Delaware, noticed the smell of gasoline in his 2017 Honda CR-V. He brought it to his Honda dealer. The service tech told him there was nothing seriously wrong with the car. 6 months later, Houghton was one of the first owners interviewed by Consumer Reports for an investigation that would eventually be cited in the first federal class action. Around the same time, a CR-V owner named Witzig from rural Pennsylvania pulled the dipstick on her 2017 and found the oil level had risen by almost a full quart. Her dealer ran the standard diagnostic. They told her the same thing they told Houghton. Nothing wrong. She kept driving. By 42,000 miles, the engine had stalled twice while backing out of her own driveway. She told the Consumer Reports reporter, quote, What really frustrates me is they are still selling that 2017 engine. They are selling them right and left, and they know they have got an issue, and that is wrong, end quote. But the case that should freeze every Honda owner watching this is the one filed in federal court in California in December of 2024. A 2018 CR-V owner driving 65 miles per hour on the highway when the vehicle suddenly lost motive power. The dashboard lit up with warning lights, and he had to use excessive force to steer the vehicle off the highway. He called for roadside assistance. The dealer diagnosed a blown head gasket caused by long-term oil dilution damage. The estimate to replace the engine was just over $5,000. Honda denied the warranty claim because he was 63,000 miles into a vehicle whose extended warranty did not cover the state he lived in. He is named in the active class action complaint. Case number 3:24 CV02286. You can pull it up tonight if you want to read his testimony in his own words. So here is what you can do today before this becomes your problem. First, know whether you own one of the affected vehicles. If you are driving a 2016 through 2022 Civic, a 2017 through 2023 CR-V, or a 2018 through 2022 Accord with a 1.5-liter turbo, you are on the list. Second, run the dipstick smell test every time you fill the tank. Pull the stick, wipe it, push it back in, pull it out again. If the oil smells like a gas station, you have measurable fuel dilution already. If the oil level on the stick is higher than where you set it at the last oil change, you are losing the race. That is your free 5-second early warning system. Your dashboard will not give it to you. Third, throw out the 7,500-mile oil change interval. Honda recommends it. Honda is wrong. Blackstone Laboratories, the same lab whose dilution data I cited earlier, recommends an interval of 3,000 miles or 3 months, whichever comes first. Yes, that is more expensive. Yes, that is annoying. It is also the only maintenance step that actually keeps the diluted oil out of the engine long enough to prevent the cascade we just walked through. And one more thing, if you live outside one of the 21 cold weather states named in the original class action settlement, do not let your dealer tell you the issue does not affect you. The Texas owners reported it at 40 degrees. The Georgia owners reported it on 15-mile commutes. The Anna, Ohio engine does not care what state you bought it in. Honda built the brand most American consumers trusted, second only to Toyota. They built it on engines that ran for 300,000 miles on nothing but oil changes. Then they bolted a turbocharger to a direct injection block, and when consumers in China caught them, they recalled and replaced the hardware. When consumers in the United States caught them, they handed out a software update and a piece of paper. That is the playbook. Same factory, same engine, different markets, different responses. And the only thing that drove the difference was how loud each set of consumers got. The Chinese got loud, we did not. And they sold us the broken hardware for 8 more years. If this video helped you, send it to anyone you know who drives a Civic, a CR-V, or an Accord. They probably do not know yet, and they deserve to.